Hi there, I'm Virginia Lindsay of Ginger Cake Patterns and Design, and today I want to show you how I made this great new pillow that I'm using in my living room. This pillow is based on the quilt block by Jenny Shower called Breaking Out, and it's really cool. It utilizes these little flying geese pieces. So I'm going to show you a trick to make flying geese, is what they're called, these triangles. It's 4 at a time flying geese with no wasted fabric. And then I'm also going to show you how to put it all together and do a little quilting, and by the end you'll have a new pillow, and it's so much easier and more fun than you think. I also want to thank my new sponsor Skillshare. This week I've been taking a great class which kind of inspired this pillow. It's called, it's a flower arranging class. It is called Modern Flowers Arranging a Stunning Composition. And truly, these were stunning compositions in this class. It's so beautifully done, and I really like it. I'm going to show you guys some pictures right now of the class I'm taking. So Skillshare is an online service for creators, and it has over 25,000 classes that you can take. The first 2 months are free. If you click on my link right down below, you can sign up for the first 2 months for free. And then also after that, it's like less than $10 a month, and you can take all of these continuing education classes that are really great and valid for our lives, including arranging flowers. I'm also taking some hand lettering, there's productivity classes, all sorts of cool stuff, so be sure to check that out. But now let's get on to making our pillow. I think you guys are going to love this, and you're going to really enjoy learning something new here. Okay, before we make the flying geese blocks, I wanted to show you how I chose the fabrics to make this, this pillow top. And what I usually do is I'll start off with one main fabric that I want to showcase, and then you build the other prints off of this one. So I cut out my squares. I have my templates here, which I'll give you a link in the description so that you can download these and just print them off and cut them out if you want. But they're 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. You need to have 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. So these are my 3. These are going to be the big triangles. And then I cut out 12 of these, which are kind of like this. This is Kona Cotton Natural. So the first thing we're going to do is take this main piece, and we're going to add this here and this one here in these 2 corners, just like this. So we're in this diamond shape. And then I'm going to take a ruler. I'm going to take a ruler and I'm going to draw, and then you're going to draw a line right down the middle like this. Okay? And then on the machine, I'm going to sew a line I'm going to take my 1/4 inch foot, and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch to this side and a 1/4 inch to this side. See, now you can put pins in here if you want. I think that they stay in place pretty well on their own, so I'm not going to pin. But I'm going to use, this is a 1/4 inch foot, and let me just pop that off and you can see it real quick. A 1/4 inch foot looks like this. It has this little extra, might be a little bent there, but it has this little thing, and what it does is it gives you a perfect 1/4 inch, right here, a perfect 1/4 inch seam allowance every time. So what you do is you take that line you drew in the middle, and you line up the edge of the foot. I want to make sure I have things lined up. You don't really need to backstitch here, but I did it anyway. And then do the other side too. We're not going straight down that middle. We're just using that middle line that we drew just as the guide for the 1/4 inch foot. Okay, can you see that? Now I'm going to cut down the middle and press, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, here I am at the ironing board, and I'm just going to cut right down the middle. And then I'm going to press. I actually like to press on this side. I kind of push it over on the other side, and then I feel, and you want the seam to be going towards your big print, the bigger triangle, like this. So I'm going to get that, make sure it's, and then just press. And that's what the back side looks like. And then do the same to the other half. I have my other two squares, because for each one of these, the 6 3/8 or 6, whatever it was, the 6-inch plus a little squares, you're going to have 4 of the little squares. So I have the other two, and this, so on this half that we just created, we're going to take this one and we're going to put it right up here. And you'll have this kind of funny little shape. And then we're going to draw another line down the center here. Okay, see that line? On the machine, I'm going to sew again on either side of this line, and then I'll meet you back here. Okay, here we are. I sewed on either side of that line with the 1/4 inch walking, or the 1/4 inch foot. You know, if you don't have a 1/4 inch foot, you can make, I mean, you can just use what you have, and it might not be as exactly perfect, but it's still going to be really good. So just go ahead and use what you have. I mean, that's what it's all about. We're just, okay, so you see I cut those in half. See? Look at that nice little triangle. And I'm just going to, again, press this towards the solid piece, the big triangle. And then that is your little flying goose. The last thing you want to do is cut off these little triangles here. Once you've done that and you have your 4 pieces, you need to go ahead and sew the 4 small triangles onto the other 2 colorful pieces. This little striped one I did and the little daisy one. And then you're going to have a total of 12 of these flying geese blocks. And then we will meet right back here and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I sewed them all, and so I was kind of messing around with my arrangement. And I like the gold in the middle, the gold with the floral, but this might also look really good too, to have this one in the middle. I really like that. And that would be here, and this would be out here. So lots of options. I also wanted to show, even though, you know, I'm the one teaching you, these kind of things happen right here. See this? But just keep going forward. This is not going to show up in the end product. We're just going to make it work, and I don't think it's worth redoing. We're just going to probably cut off the end of that a little, and it won't show up. So I'm just showing you that to encourage you that, you know, you're making something handmade. It's not going to turn out perfectly. If you want, you can take it all out and redo it. I don't think it's worth it. See, this is how it's supposed to look on the top. That's how yours should look. But if it turns out like this, you're still going to have a great looking pillow top. And you can take that out if you want. I don't really see the point. I'm going to keep moving forward. So at this point, you're just kind of messing around with your design and getting things just right. This also looks really good to have this one in the middle. But again, I'm going to have this on the edges. So I think I'm actually going to stick with the, well, I actually really like that. I think I'm going to stick with this in the middle. And now my job is to sew these 3 together, you know, these sections together. I'm going to sew this, this, and this together by first sewing these 2 along this edge, again with the 1/4 inch seam allowance. Then I'm going to open those up, sew it flat, press it flat, and then sew this one on and press it flat. Okay, here you have the 4 sections that I sewed together of the 3 different flying geese. So now I'm just going to kind of create my pinwheel. just like this. And you can see that we have these 1, 2, 3, 4 negative spaces like you saw in the finished pillow. And so what I determined was the right size to add to these is 3 inches by 8 inches. And I think I'll also make a template for you when you print out the these blocks from my website. I'll make one for that too, so that you have that full piece. So then I'm just going to add the 4 pieces here. I'm actually going to switch this up a little because I'd like, since this one didn't have any of the flower on it, I want this to be there instead. And I think that looks really good. See how it's coming together? So I'm going to go over to the machine and I'm going to sew. Actually, I might do it this way instead, like this. And this one here, and this one here. And then at my machine, I'm just going to sew here, 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 and here, and then press the seams out towards the big piece like this. So it'll look like that. And then we're going to put it all together. Okay, now we have the 4 blocks. And now I'm just going to sew these 2 together right down here. These 2 together right down here. Then I'm going to sew the whole thing together and we're going to have the block. So now the whole piece is pressed out, and I'll show you the back of it just so you can see what the seams look like. So everything is pressed to one side and pressed nice and flat. Sometimes you might have little mistakes back in here, and that's okay. You know, if this seam didn't catch just right, it really isn't going to matter that much in the end product. But if you did get it nicely all pressed the correct way, then congratulations. But again, it's not super duper important to the outcome of your pillow. So here it is. It's so cool. And what I'm going to do, I added this piece of cotton batting. Now we're going to quilt. And what I'm going to do is I've decided that you can do this in a variety of ways. What I'm going to do though is I'm just going to outline each triangle. I think that's going to be a cool look. It's going to kind of crisscross over and kind of emphasize the triangle look of my piece. And I'm going to just throw a few pins in here. Try to kind of put them maybe in places that won't get in the way of my sewing when I do the quilting. But if it is, then I can just take them out. Okay, here it is. I quilted the top. Now I know I told you about doing those outlining the triangles, and I do like how that worked out. The center was a little weird. So what you have to do if you're gonna outline the triangles like I did, you're gonna have to kind of stop when you get close to the center and connect like this. So you know, that's a little awkward. What you might want to do if you're more of a beginner is to just stitch in the ditch instead. The very easiest is to just stitch in the ditch right here, and that would be, you know, that would be enough to keep everything together. So now I'm just going to trim off the edges and make it the 15 by 15 size that I wanted, and then I'm going to add the backing. Now I'm not going to show you the backing and how to do the backing, the envelope backing in detail, because I actually already made a video exactly like that for you, and I'm going to give you on one of these little sides there's going to be a little pop-up, and that is going to show you, and you're going to go to 11 the time, you know, just move forward to 11, and that will show you exactly how to make the envelope backing. I already made them, and it's basically you just make these 2 pieces and you sew them on the back, and then you can insert your pillow better. So I'm just cutting off the edges, and then I'm going to sew the back on. So like I said, to save time, I'm not going to show you every step of adding the envelope backing when you can watch that other video. But what I am going to tell you is that these 2 pieces need to be 13 by 15. And then you fold over the edges 1/4 inch and then 1/2 inch, press and stitch. And now I'm going to just head over to my sewing machine and sew this together around the exterior, turn it inside out, and we're going to have our pillow. Okay, here it is. It turned out so cute. And the envelope back. Now, I mean, you have to kind of work to get the pillow in there and these kind of backings. I like to make mine a little bit longer. Some people have their envelope back just right here in the middle. I like to make mine a little bit longer so that it's really a good fit on the front. Otherwise, excuse me, it can look a little distorted. But if you feel more comfortable making it shorter, you can do that too. But I think it's super cool, and now I'm going to show it to you upstairs in my living room. Okay, here it is, my new pillow. So I love how it turned out. And I think it goes perfectly with my daughter's sunflower crafts. So I hope you guys get to make one, and that you also check out Skillshare, my new sponsor. Really, that flower arranging class is so cool. So hope you guys get to make one of these cute pillows, and we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.